6, 5, 4, 3, 2, are you ready?
The CJ Howard Show. Now let's go to CJ Howard. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the CJ Howard Show, episode number 11, and season number 2 as we get set for here another night, live from my home here in Barberville, Kentucky. We are live on the Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. We want to hear from you tonight. We want you to leave your comments, guys, and give us a phone call. If you would like, we'd like to hear from you. Phone number's at the bottom of the screen, scrolling, but the number is 1-346-314-0906. We've got a very, very heavy top duty guest list tonight. Probably the most guests I've had on the show. Here in about 5 minutes, we're going to hear from Coach Dan Howard of the Hatters Bulldogs. Got a monster game coming up Friday night against the Pikeville Panthers. Should be a nice football game. We'll talk about their winner, sayer, and everything. Then we're going to hear from veteran head coach John Hines of the Pulaski Maroons. They also are involved in another monster game with their crosstown rival, the Southwestern Warriors. Game, I think it's going to be the game of the week on WYMT. But also it's got a late kick because they're going to be doing some a junior league game before that. So it's going to be a full night of football there at Pulaski County. They got a big win the other night over Bell County, too. Les Dixon's going to join us at 8:45. He was going to be with us last week, and he was on vacation, and I felt bad. Unfortunately, he was not able to get back. He couldn't find service, so he'll get with us tonight. John's going to join us from YMT at 9:05. Now, I had to do some switching because to be able to get Coach McNamee on the show, I had to be able to put him at 9:30 because him and his coaching staff are still watching film and preparing for their game with Hazard. But John's going to be with us at 9:05, and then at 9:30, Coach McNamee from Pikeville. But my co-host tonight, you know him from Prep Spin. He is the owner of Prep Spin. Does a fantastic job. They do some of the best. They do a lot of games, and they do a phenomenal job at it. William Warfield with me here tonight. William, it's good to have you with us.
Hey, CJ, I appreciate the opportunity to come onto the show, and congratulations on all your success growing this venture here.
Yeah, well, we're trying to get to a new point every week, as we say. We want to try to get something new going each and every week. Last week we had a lot of people commenting, and I love that because it was a back and forth. It lets me know the people are in the show and really preparing themselves. I love to be a part of it. William, you've been a busy man. You've been doing a lot of football. Tell us some of the games you guys have done, and I know we're getting pretty close to basketball.
Yeah, basketball, we're excited because there's a big schedule we got, and we're going to be putting some of those games on TV on Saturdays. But, getting back to football because we are here in football season and getting ready to ramp things up. Man, I tell you what, there's been a lot of good football going on right now in the state of Kentucky. I know, you're pretty impressed, and as well as the whole state with the Red Hounds down there. Corbin doing an outstanding job and just doing some great things down there, and one of the top teams in their class, CJ.
Yeah, they're the top RPI. Their RPI is actually third, but in the AP poll, they're number 1. So you have to look. Mountain football is sort of like a bag of potato chips. When you get into the bag, you just don't know what you're going to get at the first couple of bites. Because I've noticed that early we had a lot of teams 6-5, 6-0. How good were they? Now we're starting to find out those teams are not very good. Once they play the big daddies in the district, they go to find out they were the same they was before. And I don't want to put down nobody. I'm just saying, if you think you're really good, you need to beef your schedule up and play good teams. I go back to Letcher Central back early in the year. They played Pikeville in week 3 because they had an open date. Pikeville was open. Letcher chose to play them and probably knew they was going to get beat 40, 50 points. And you do not know how much that's going to help them this coming Friday night when they play Johnson Central at Letcher Central. I mean, it's a huge game for Letcher Central at home. Now, for Johnson Central, it's going to be which Johnson Central teams will show up. Now, last week they dominated Hardin County, but this is a monster game, and I use that game because that Pikeville game, even though they got beat 40-something, Letcher Central has learned from that and has run everybody else out of the building. So they know what they have to do to be able to beat Johnson Central for this coming Friday. I don't know if we've had 3 caliber games in the mountains come up this week like we do. We got Pikeville Hazard at Hazard, Southwestern and Pulaski County at Pulaski County, and Letcher Central and Johnson Central at Letcher Central. So 3 monster games that all have big time complications to them. So I mean, it's going to be a big night of football. It's also, I think, some of the lower seeds, 2 and 3 games are going to be decent. This might be the best district week of football before we get to next week, because next week is going to be a dandy week all the way around the board, because district play's over and you got your games like Belfry and Johnson Central. They're going to play each other as they always do in week 10. You got Frederick Douglass is going to play Boyle County. 2 of the top teams, and regardless of a class, playing each other. So, I mean, this is going to be a fun Friday night coming up.
Now, the question is what Boyle County team is going to show up against Frederick Douglass? Because if you don't bring your A game against Frederick Douglass, it's lights out.
Well, I think Great Crossing learned that Friday night. Great Crossing's not a bad football team. They just learned they're not ready to play with Frederick Douglass yet.
Yeah, they just got too many weapons on that team. But I mean, Boyle County does too. You know, when you talk about them, you know, that Lantern kid, he's really good, and you know, they got a lot of big guys up on that line there for Boyle County. So, you know, it'll be a good game to kind of pay attention to that score and see how that turns out. But you know, I'm excited, CJ, because you know the Hazard Bulldogs, you know, they came up to Lexington to face the Sayre Spartans the other night, Friday night, and we were able to broadcast that game on Prep Spin. And you know, Coach Howard and his team got a very, very wet victory, if you will. Man, it started turning into a mud bowl out there. And congratulations to Coach Howard and Hazard.
Well, I think if it's a rainy atmosphere like it was Friday night, that benefits Hazard to run the football. Coach Howard, I talked to him after the game. He wasn't real happy about the win, but he'll take it. I think he felt like they left some points on the field. They had the ball, I think, a couple of times inside the red zone, didn't punch it in. He felt they probably could have punched him in. He knows this coming Friday night when they play Pikeville, you cannot waste opportunities. You know, you go back to last year's upset win when they beat Pikeville. They kept Pikeville at bay, not letting them get big plays. And I thought they did a really good job of keeping Pennington at bay. I thought he didn't really hurt them in the passing game, but he just kept them moving, but then they stalled where they had to really go.
You know what they did very well, though, is they pay. You know, Pennington's one of those quarterbacks, you know, where you could tell. I mean, he leads with his eyes, you know, and Hazard did a great job of reading him that whole game and just providing the coverage that they needed to so that Pennington didn't have such a big game that game. You know, the rain probably helped out a little bit too. You know, loose football out there. Hazard was able to hang on to it. Sayre fumbled a couple times, but you know, they had a really good game plan coming in there, and I kind of felt that it was going to be one of those low-scoring affairs, and you know, it turned out to be that way. You know, 14-0 Hazard with the victory.
Yeah. He was concerned about this stretch of games because when you have to play Sayre on the road there, then you come home, you play Pikeville, and that's 2 really rough games. So, I mean, now, you know, he's got to be able to. They got to turn their momentum all the way back around now, and it's a big game at home because they're bringing in the state champions team to recognize them. Friday night. So that's
Yeah.
going to be a big time thing there for Coach Howard and them.
Yeah, and you know, luckily for him, he's at home against Pikeville because it is hard to go to Pikeville and win a ball game. You know that. You know, and quite frankly, last what was it? Last week before last, excuse me. You know, they found out. You know, which Lexington team was it that went down there that found out that Pikeville was a tough place to play at? Trying to pull up my schedule here, but it's showing me Hazard and Pikeville for every single game.
They play. Pikeville played
Oh, here we
Madison
go.
Central and LCA back to back.
Yeah,
I think they learned going to LCA, which those two were rivals back when LCA was in a Class A football. But the reason why I think Coach McNamee played them two games,
it was
just
Sayre.
so-
Sayre went to Pikeville. Yeah,
yeah,
Sayre was at Pikeville. They found out the hard way that Pikeville was a very tough place to play, and Sayre came into that ball game undefeated at the time.
well, that was a big win the week before for Sayre when they won on the road at Williamsburg. So Sayre knows how tough it is to play. This was going to be one of those gauntlet. He talked about when I had Coach Finnington on the show. He talked about it. He said this will be the biggest 4-game stretch in our school since I've been coaching, and he understood that. Well, we got Coach Howard with us. There he is. I think he's returned home. Coach Howard, good evening. It's good to see you and glad to be part of the show. I don't think he can hear me. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you now.
There he
Okay,
is.
all right. We didn't think you heard us. Coach, how was film and how was everything today?
Well, on Sundays we go in and watch our game, and I thought, defensively we played really well. We knew that Cole Pennington, he's a D1 quarterback, obviously, and we had to stop him, and they got a couple good athletes, and we knew it was going to be a tough game, and our defense played exceptionally well, and we left some points on the field, but we was glad to get out of there with a win because that's a huge game. That was a big game for us. Now we have a home playoff game no matter what happens this week, and now we're facing Pikeville, and I think it's kind of just about like last year. Not many people are giving us a chance, but that's fine. We're just excited to get the opportunity to play Pikeville. They played some good teams this year, and so have we, and I feel like we've gotten better as the year has went on.
I think the one thing that coming into this Pikeville game, I think you got Pikeville's attention, not the fans. I mean, I know people are not picking you, but Coach McNamee knows this time around they've got to be aware of you all the time because last year that was a big time deal when you upset them down there.
Yeah, it was, and last year every game we got better. We had a rough start, 0-5, and we got better every game, and I really felt like the second time around against Pikeville, we had a chance, and I knew if we could keep it close, the second half we had a good shot of beating them, and we played a great game, and they've got basically their entire team back, and we lost a couple kids, but we've had some other kids step in, and we've lost 3 games this year, but it's 3 good teams, and they've just made us better, and Pikeville's number 1 in Class A for a reason.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're going to have this problem sometimes when you lived out there here, William. We learned internet will spit on you and stuff like that. Sometimes it'll kick in, kick out.
Right.
So we have these problems sometimes. So I know you understand that where you guys cover, do a lot of games. Sometimes you guys lose your service during games and have to click back on.
Yeah, if you're not hardwired in, at these schools, it certainly happens. You can't trust the cell phone towers, and you can't trust Wi-Fi. It just doesn't work out too good.
Sorry, I'm back. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, we got you back. Well, I was just telling him how the Wi-Fi is here in the mountains. Sometimes it's working real good. Sometimes it's not working so good.
Well, like I say, Coach McNamee, he's a state championship coach, and there's a reason why they're number 1. And it's a good opportunity for our kids to play against a good football team, and should be a fun game Friday.
You also are bringing back the state championship team to recognize. I'm excited about that because that's going to be should be a good moment.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of the boys, and they're excited to come back and just see them. A lot of them I haven't seen since 2011, 10 years, and that was a special team, and it's good to recognize those guys and bring them back, and they'll be able to see our new field and our new lights, our new fence, new stadium, everything, and it's nice, and I'm excited for them guys to get back, and those guys did a lot for the Hazard football program. That senior class, played in the 3 state championships, and that not many people can say that.
No. I know Coach Dixon won't be able to be there. He would have probably liked to have been a part of that because, he was the main, that was one of his most special moments to be when he was at Hazard.
Oh, yeah. It couldn't work out any Friday that we done it. They were playing and during our off week, they had a game and it just didn't work out. But, the boys, they love Coach Dixon, and Coach Dixon did a lot for Hazard football, and he coached in 4 state championships, and really, we won the one and should have won a couple more, and ball just didn't bounce our way. But he's a big part of Hazard football and always will be, and he's moved on, and he did a lot for Hazard. He's the all-time winningest coach. He won numerous region championships, district championships, coaches of the year, and you can't take that from him. And he taught me a lot. I learned a lot from him, and just a good guy. And we still talk, even though he's down the road, we're still friends. And I've, I didn't, he made a decision to go down there, and that was his decision. That's his, it was him and his family, better for him and his family, and that's what he needed to do. But yeah, the boys have asked about him, and I think we're going to try to get together the next night, that Saturday night, and everybody just get together and kind of hang out a little while.
That'd be cool. That'll be cool. He's a valuable part of that team. This is your second year. I feel like that you have really turned the corner. I feel like the more you coach, the better you get. Talk about your the way you've been able to keep and talk about how you've been able to change as a person and coach in the past 2 years.
Going in, being an assistant for 14 years, been under Coach Kugler at Leslie County, and then Coach Mark Dixon there at Hazard. You learn a lot, and being around going to these clinics and things, you learn things as an assistant. But when you're the head coach, there's a lot more that's on you, and it's a little more pressure, and you're not only coaching one side of the ball, but you're kind of over everything. And a lot of people don't understand that head coaching isn't just football and it ain't just coaching. You got 30, 35 teenage boys there that you got to make sure they're making the grades, which is the most important thing, and being good citizens and being good people and what they're doing after football. That's the main thing, and teaching them right from wrong. And I feel like we've tried to do that I've got some great assistant coaches and a couple of guys that's been head coaches. So that helps. When you got guys on your sideline that's been through that and they've been head coaches, they can kind of show you the ropes and give you ideas during the season. And my job is just kind of try to keep it all together.
William, do you have any questions for Coach Howard?
Coach, great win the other night up here in Lexington when you come up here to take on Sayre. We were able to broadcast that game on Prep Spin, and, you guys pretty impressive defensively against a Sayre Spartan team that normally puts up quite a bit of points up on the board.
Yeah, we've got an older group there defensively. Our secondary, we've got 3 seniors and a junior, and a lot of older guys on that defense. And we knew that the defense was probably going to be one of our strong points this year. And early in the season, we struggled a little bit, but I think we're starting to find our way defensively. And everybody knows when you get into coaching, if you want to win in the playoffs in these tight games, you better play defense and run the football. And that's kind of what we tried to do the other night. I think we ran the ball 45 times maybe and threw it 14 or something. Max Pelfrey there is a freshman, and you don't want to put too much on him, but he's a good-looking freshman, and he's going to be a heck of a player. We fed Max Johnson the ball as many times as we could, and Tyson Turner and Zane Deaton. We got a lot of kids that can run the football behind our big offensive line.
And they held on to the football pretty good too, because it was wet out there, wasn't it, Coach?
It was very wet, and but Sayre's field is really nice. I talked to Coach Pennington before the game, and any other field, it probably would have been a mud bowl, but that's a nice field. And he said they just resodded it, I think, last year. That Bermuda grass, it's really nice and soft, and it held up really well. It did.
Yeah, let me ask you this, because I know they moved up the game to to 6 o'clock, to try to avoid some of that rain, but it got us a little early there on that bus ride there, knowing that you drove, what was it, 2.5 hours to get to the field. What was going through your mind? Were you thinking, hey, do I get to play tonight or not? Because they were talking about maybe rescheduling it on Saturday. And we lost him again there, CJ.
He'll be back in a moment. I think he heard your question, but he'll be, like I said, internet. There he is. He's back again. Yep. We just have to keep clicking him in here because he just.
Sorry, I heard about the 2-hour bus.
Did you hear his question?
Yeah, so I know they moved the game up, and because we were trying to avoid some of that rain, but
right.
On that 2.5 hour bus ride up, what was going through your mind knowing that rain was coming down pretty good, and they were, you were playing on a grass field? Did you expect that field to be as nice as it was, or were you thinking, hey, we might play on Saturday?
Well, I'd never been there before, but one of my assistants had been. He said they had a nice field, and me and Coach Pennington talked on, I guess it was Wednesday, and he talked about moving it up, and I said that was fine with me. And, we had to leave school early. When you leave school early and you're out of your routine, and you never know how the boys will react. But we did stop in Richmond there at EKU and did a little walkthrough and eat and got, stretched our legs a little bit before we went on to the game, and I felt like that helped. And my defensive staff did a tremendous job, and my offensive staff, and then, the special teams. It's all three phases of the game. I felt like we played well, but the long bus ride, you're always worried about that. That's something I was really worried about. And I kind of feel for Sayre this week. They got to go to Phelps, and Coach Pennington asked me, about going to Phelps.
That's a long trip for Sayre. You talk about that's almost 4+ hours, ain't it?
Yeah, it's quite the haul.
Sorry. Yeah, I told him. I said, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
I told him. I said, y'all better leave about Tuesday or Wednesday if you want to get to Phelps. I said, I said, you go to Pikeville and keep going, and then you go, even further. But he's got a long road ahead of him, and me and him talked about it. It's hard to understand why they put him in our district, and but I'm glad they did. He's a good coach and it's a good football team, and it was a good game the other night.
They last time they played football was back in '77 there at Sayre, and Coach Pennington, he played in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Was it pretty cool coming in there knowing that, hey, this guy played 8 years in the NFL?
Well, growing up, I loved watching him. I told him, I said, he's one of my favorite players, watching him at Marshall, and then I watched him with the Jets and the Dolphins, and our boys actually.
The life of internet. That's I tell everybody that.
We got to get you guys some Starlink down there. They're starting to launch that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to get something because I know the internet, some places are good and some places are not. It just all depends where you're at. Well, if you know where Coach Howard lives, first William, yeah, we can hear you. I was just letting him know where you live.
Yeah.
Internet service up there is very hard. If you can get it, it's good.
Yeah. But like I was saying, it was kind of cool. Our boys after the game, we won, and they were out by the locker room waiting for Coach Pennington to come by to get his autograph and get pictures. I said, boys, I thought we won the game. I said, do we need to trade coaches or what? I mean, I thought we won, But he's a nice guy, great guy. I talked to him last year when they put him in our district, and actually when they played Pikeville in the playoffs, and great guy. We talked probably an hour, and just down to earth, and just a really nice guy, and he's doing a great job. And I told some of my coaches today, I said, if he sticks around there, they'll be the next LCA. I really feel that he'll build something there. LCA started from scratch, and he'll be the same thing there at Sayre. I really believe that.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I know you need to get prepared for some more preparing. I know the internet's not going to cooperate. I was glad we got what we could out of you. But again, let everybody know, 7:30 Friday night, they're bringing back the state championship team. Will you do your stuff before the game or halftime or what?
Well, I don't know yet. We're actually having Heroes Night, too. We're going to have firefighters and ambulance drivers and policemen and all that, too, that night. So we're going to try to do one maybe before the game and one at halftime.
Okay.
That sounds pretty cool.
That does, yeah. Leslie County was going to try to do something like that, but we couldn't get all of the. It was such late notice, we couldn't get all of it put together so quick. So, but sounds like a lot of fun Friday night.
Yeah. We like I said, I think I cut out there, but we're going to have a lot of people there, and hopefully it's a big crowd. And this is a big game because if we can win this game, we'll be home the first and second round, and have to turn around and play Pikeville again eventually. I'm guessing with the playoff system the way it is. But it's going to be a tough game. They've got 15, 16 seniors, and they probably have had this game circled on their calendar for a long time, actually since November, and we realize that, and it's going to be a fun night.
Yeah. Well, Coach, it's always an honor to have you on the show. I'll holler at you before the playoffs, and good luck to you Friday night against Pikeville.
All right, thank you guys for having me on.
All right,
thanks, Coach.
Coach Dan Howard of the Hazard Bulldogs. Big night coming up there. They got firefighters, the police is going to be recognized. They're going to recognize the state championship team. So it's just going to be an unbelievable night there in Hazard as the Bulldogs get set to play the Pikeville Panthers. 7:30 kickoff. And also, you can hear that game on WSGS Power 101. And you'll be able to see it on Facebook Live. WSGS will be bringing that too as well. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit. We've got the veteran head coach of the Pulaski County Maroons, Mr. Coach John Hines, with Coach. It is an honor to have you on the CJ Harris Show.
Well, thank you for having me, guys. It's an honor to be on the show.
Coach, I've known you for a long time. We've played you guys, Lester County, we played you guys, and then we've played you a lot of times, and you've been around a long time. And as I told Dudley Hilton when he was on the show a couple weeks ago, you veteran coaches are hard to find because there's a lot of new coaches now are in. But people like you and Coach Haywood and Dudley are special people because you guys, the game of football, and if it wasn't for you guys, I don't think football would be what it is. Talk about your tradition there at Pulaski County because you have done such a phenomenal job there.
Well, I appreciate that very much. You guys make me feel good. You mentioned me in the same breath as Coach Haywood and Coach Hilton. Those two are truly legends in Kentucky high school football. I'm certainly not in that group, but it's an honor. Appreciate that. We've been very fortunate at Pulaski. We've been very fortunate that we've had some really good players, some good coaches along the way, and been able to build a program to win a lot of games. We had a phenomenal run there in 13, 14, 15, and 16, where we went to the 5A state championship game 4 consecutive years and won it in 14. And that's the highlight of the things that we've had. And it's just been a lot of fun. There's a great fan base here at Pulaski County. The kids work so hard. We haven't had a lot of tremendous talent. We've had some kids that have gone off to big schools and played, very few of them. Most of our kids go off to smaller schools to play. So we don't have a tremendous talent base, but the kids work hard. They believe in themselves. They believe in the coaches. And it's just been a lot of fun. It really has. It's a long time, but it's been a lot of fun at Pulaski County.
Yeah, you have really done a lot of good things there. You were total control of that town before Southwestern came. And, when Southwestern came, it even made it even better football in Pulaski County. Because I feel like that you guys I think it's one of the top rivals in the mountains. Not just the mountains in the state. Because I love it when you two get together. It's a slobber knocker game, and it's going to be low scoring, but it's going to be one of the most physical games you'll ever watch.
It really is. It's just become such a tremendous rivalry. Everybody's got that one school that you play every year. That's it's just special. And of course, it's very special for us because both schools are in the same school system. We're sister schools, same town. So we got to live with each other all year long. And the team that wins gets those bragging rights and has it for 365 days. And the team that loses is just chomping at the bit to get back at them and has to wait a whole year usually. So it's a great rivalry. I've had the honor of being a part of that for many, many years, many, many games, and there's nothing like that game. There's just nothing like it. It's a game that you'll never forget. Some of the things that have happened along the way are just, I need to write a book sometime. But
Yeah.
it's a tremendous rivalry, and it's great to be a part of it.
As Coach Foley mentioned last week, the team in this rival that's been the favorite in the game has not won the game in the past 3 or 4 years. You know, you would think this team is favored, and the underdog slides in there. You know, and that's just because you guys know each other so well, and the kids know each other so well. When we was talking with Coach Helton, how important is it that your kids get along with the Southwestern kids, just like the Bale kids need to get along with the Whitley County and the Middlesboro kids?
Well, they do, and I think for the most part they do. You know, they grow up together in the same town, and they play against each other in youth league ball. They play each other in middle school. They play in all the other sports, so they know each other real well. And you know, deep down inside, those are your best rivalries. When you know the person and when you've come up with them through the system, if you will, you know, you want to beat them more than you want to beat anybody else. And they feel the same way down there, and so it's just become a tremendous game. It's tremendous for all the fans. We have great turnouts each time we play, and you're right. You know, the favorite doesn't always win, so you can kind of throw out the records. You can throw out who's supposed to win and who's not supposed to win. It's usually a battle down to the very end.
Your game the other night with Bell County was very entertaining, Coach. One of the better games I saw all year in the mountains. I thought it was two really good football teams, just really back and forth. But you could just tell that you guys were prepared. Bell was prepared. It was just a great football game to watch and see.
Well, appreciate that. I think it was too. Bell County's an awful good football team. You know, and we had a lot of films on them this season, and you could just see them from week to week improving each game as they got better and better throughout the course of the season. And very, very good football team. And you know, the people that know Bell County, if you've been around the mountains a while, you know what Bell County football is all about. They line up and come at you, and they don't play games. They're very physical, downhill running football team, and they did it well. And it was a battle. They went down to the final play.
Yeah, it's a nice game. It was a really good ball game. I saw some highlights and some other stuff, and it was very entertaining game. Very entertaining. William, you got any questions for Coach Hines?
Yeah, Coach, I'm a big fan of yours. You know, I get to see you when you come up here in the Lexington area at times, and you know, even sometimes when I catch you just playing some of the county schools around here as well. But Coach, to walk us through a game day, you know, is there any pregame rituals or anything like that you do before a big game, or you know, what's some of the things that maybe you can paint the picture for some of the folks out there that are interested in it?
Well, I appreciate the kind words. You know, game day for the coaches, I think, is the worst day of the week, leading up to kickoff, because you're just you're so nervous, if you will, excited, whatever the term might be. You know, there's so many last minute thoughts you have. Did we cover this? Did we do a good job with this? Are the players prepared? Are we going to play our best game? There's so many moving parts that you worry about every single one of them. And as you get closer to the game on game day, and you start in that routine where you go through your day at school, and then we meet with the team after school, and we have our pregame meal, and we have our devotional, and all those things that we go through. It just builds up and builds up. And, you know, by the time you get to 5 minutes before kickoff, you're ready to throw up. And, I joke about it with all of our other coaches. You'd think after all these years, you know, you could come out and be relaxed and just enjoy it, but you can't. And I don't know any coach that really can. But once the game gets started, you feel a lot better, and you just kind of fall into that mode of what you've practiced and what you've prepared for the week, and you know, try to put your kids in the best position that you can to make plays to win the game.
I love the whole, you know, down in the mountains, you know, and Belfry is like this as well. You know, I think there's actually a book out called Faith, Family, and Football that Coach wrote over there. But
I have
You
a
know,
copy. I have a signed copy.
yeah.
There we
So
go.
that's one of the things I really love about mountain football, and I'm not that far from you, by the way. I'm just right here in Nicholasville, so I'm not that, we're straight down 27. But I really admire the way that just mountain football overall, faith family football, and then you could throw all the great food in there as well, right, Coach?
That's right. Hey, listen, there's nothing like mountain concession stand food. It's as good as it gets.
That's right. I'm excited for you. I know you guys are gonna make a run for another state championship, and looking forward to see what you can do as the season progresses.
Well, appreciate that. It's hard to tell how far you're going to go. You never know. There's so many things can happen when you hit the playoffs, and you got to be playing at your best. You got to be peaking. You got to have guys healthy, and you got to have a little bit of luck. Let's just be honest. When you get
Right.
into the playoffs, all the teams that are there can really play, and so you've got to have things just kind of go your way to pull off 5 straight wins to win a state championship, and teams like the level of teams that there are in Class 5A in Kentucky is just it's a brutal stretch, and whoever wins it is really got to be a super team.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a question for you, and it totally, you ever think about something and then it totally goes right out of your mind there.
All the time, all the time.
I was saying, and then you started talking about the 5A there. Obviously, the big teams in there. Douglas is one of them. They play Boyle County coming up next week. Is that a game that you're going to have your eye on at all, Coach?
Yeah, we're very interested in that. Obviously, we played Boyle early in the year,
Right.
and they beat up on us pretty good. So I know what level they're playing at, and then kind of gives us an opportunity to see what Frederick Douglass is all about.
Drew Paulson, coach, is one of the best quarterbacks in the mountains, or not just in the mountains, in the state. And I guess you'll be honest with me because you always have been, because you've been a coach for a long time. As far as Drew can stay, will take you as far as Pulaski County is going to go. Keeping him healthy is very important because I feel like sometimes when he's not on the field, you guys have not played your best football.
Well, that's very true. He's been a tremendous quarterback for us, and you're exactly right. The last 2 seasons, unfortunately, he had season-ending injuries, and so once he was out of the game, it's very hard to replace a guy like that. He just makes us go. We've built our offense around him. He does a great job handling the offense. He runs the show very well. All the players have great respect in him, and they know that he can get the job done. So, he's the guy that drives the boat for us, and we got to keep him healthy. You're right, because if we lose him down the road, obviously, as has happened the last 2 years, it's something we can't overcome.
I feel like your schedule has got you prepared for what the playoffs. It's getting you prepared for this coming Friday. As Coach Foley said last week, he's already got chill bumps. Couldn't wait for the game, but he knew he had to get. You both had games before this that you had to focus on. Now that the game is here, Friday night, 8:30. It's going to be a ruckus crowd. I understand you're going to have a youth game before before you guys play, and I haven't heard if WYMT is going to come do the game or not. I've rumors here. I think they might be coming to do the game. I don't know. When we'll find out at 9 o'clock when John comes on. But this game is very important. Talk about Friday night's game, and talk about it being a little bit later kickoff, and how you will need to adjust to that.
Well, it's a big bowl game for us. We traditionally have played the Don Franklin Bowl, which is our major sponsor, the first game of the year over the last, I guess it's been 10, 11 years now that we've had the bowl game. And so this is a major change for us to play it late in the year. In the past, we would play a doubleheader game where us and Southwestern would each play an outside team, if you will, for the bowl game. So this year we've changed it up, and our youth league is going to play in the first game. We have youth league broken up into north and south teams, if you will. The north teams go to Northern Middle School and then, of course, come to Pulaski County. Those kids do. And the southern area teams go to Southern Middle School and end up at Southwestern High School. So there's that natural rivalry already built up in the youth league. So it's a great opportunity. We're going to switch it around each year so all the different youth league teams get a chance to play in that game and play on the big stage. And so this is the first year for that format. So that'll be the first game. And all the youth league will be there. We're going to recognize all the different youth league teams, all the cheerleaders, all those folks that are involved in our youth league. We're thrilled with them and what they do. And then after that game, the newest class of the Pulaski County Athletic Hall of Fame will be introduced. So they'll have that ceremony real quickly between games. And then, of course, after that, the I guess you could say the highlight of the night would be our game against Southwestern. So we're shooting for somewhere around an 8:15 kickoff. It might be a little bit later than that due to the festivities beforehand, but it's going to be a great night. It's a huge night, huge atmosphere. We're going to have everybody in the county and PC Stadium, and it'll be something else. It'll be something else.
Is that game going to be live streaming at all, Coach?
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be really on 2, maybe 3 different venues. LakeCumberlandSports.com is a website that carries all of our games. They do audio in every game, and a lot of the home games, they will do video over Facebook Live. So that's probably going to happen. There's also now a brand new Maroon Sports Network that's on YouTube that folks can tune in. They do all of our home games, and that's live television, and they do a great job with that. And then, of course, as you mentioned, YMT, I think they're going to be here as well. So a lot of coverage,
Wow.
Yep,
big game deserves that.
It does. It really does. I said this game, Pikeville Hazard, and I can't remember the other game, but those were my 3 top games this week because especially this was right here. I was eyeing this game for the last couple of weeks. And, Coach, it's been an honor to have you on the show. Will you come back? I would love to have you back on here again.
I would love to come back. I appreciate the invite. I always enjoy talking football and mountain football with you guys.
I know one thing that you're probably excited too about. Coach Foley was mentioning to me last week, maybe a turf field in the coming to PC.
Well, we've got our fingers crossed. We were right there several years ago and kind of got some things rearranged. But our school board has voted and made the preliminary movements to get the project started. Right now, the plan is to break ground late spring, somewhere in the area, March, April, and they're going to do both fields at the same time. So we should have a brand new turf playing surface by the time we're ready to hit the field late summer next year. And that'll really be exciting. If you've been out to PC Stadium, it's not a real big place, but it's a loud and rowdy place. It's a great place to play a game. We've got brand new light system that really is a show with all the things that they can do with the light system. It's like a fireworks show now constantly. And then with a little bit of turf, we hope to do some great things there. Our youth league will be able to play there full time. Our middle school will be able to play all their games there. So it's a huge thing for us.
Is Somerset part of the? I'm sorry, CJ. I was going to ask. Is Somerset part of the school system as well? There, or are they independent?
No, Somerset's an independent system.
Okay,
they're independent on their own. And Pulaski School District has 2 high schools, us and Southwestern.
Okay.
I was just going to mention that Leslie County, we're getting turf field. We're getting turf field and new principal. We're getting new everything. So it's going to be a new look for us for Leslie County next year too. So
good. Well, it's good to see though. It's a lot of them popping up in the mountains. You got the Laurels did it the last couple of years. I know
Clay County just got theirs.
That's right. Clay County just did it. The Madison County schools have done it. Several.
Not in Breathitt are going to be getting a turf field.
Right.
So.
I heard that. Yeah, that's right. And it's a tremendous advantage right now, I think, for those that have it over those that don't. And especially we run into this scenario a lot as you get into the playoffs and the farther you get in. Of course, the weather's not real good. So you have a lot of rain, cold days, and you go out and try to practice on our poor little practice field, which is a mud pile in a rainy day. And if we're trying to get ready to play a team that's got turf, it's a huge disadvantage for us through the week, just being able to practice. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
And it helps you guys from a standpoint too, where you can have more youth games too. If you ever wanted to invite them out there to play, you can do so without them tearing up your field, Coach.
Absolutely, and that's the plan. That's the plan. It's always been the plan for us, at least on my end, on the north end. You know, we want those youth league kids playing every Saturday. We want our middle school teams playing on Tuesday and Thursday. We'll have JV games on Monday night. You know, it's a football fan fest at PC Stadium when we get that put together.
That's big time. Big time for the community.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. I will hope to get down there sometime and come watch a game. I would love to come watch a game and see you good play. And Coach, good luck to you Friday night. And we will talk to you down the road.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. It's always an honor, and we'd love to have you at PC Stadium. You come on, you let us know when you're coming, and we'll put you up in the executive suite and give you some of them good old concession stand hot dogs. We got the best concession stand hot dogs in the mountains. So
you actually do. You do. I done the last game I done there was for when Prairie Central was in your district. I done a game for WSGS, and I went down to concessions and I got 2 hot dogs, a bag of popcorn, and I told my partner that done the game with me, I said, "This is the best popcorn and hot dogs I've ever ate." I said, "I can't find one." I said, "I can't find nothing no better." It has to be what I was eating the week before, because that concession, well, I don't know where I was at that game, but in that concession stand, they didn't even have a hot dog. They had a cold ham sandwich. And I said, no, it's not. No, that's not concession stand food.
You guys come see us at County High. We'll feed you all the hot dogs you can eat. You'll love it.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much for being on the show, and we'll talk to you down the road, and good luck to you Friday night.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it very much. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Coach Hines of Pulaski County Maroons. They get set for their game Friday night with the Southwestern Warriors. It's going to be a late kick, though. It's going to be about 8:30, 8:45, I would say. You're going to have a ruckus crowd. You're going to have the weather's supposed to be, I think, okay, but it's supposed to be cold. So you'll have to wear pants and a jacket.
Football weather. Yes.
So, yes, that's football. Exactly, William. It is football weather. I love it when it's that football weather. So I love Coach Hines. Coach Hines is a good Coach Hines. I don't know how you feel, but when you talk to these older coaches, it seems like it's a lot more comfortable with them because they know what they anticipate a lot of what you're going to say and what their thoughts are.
I really like him because he listens very well, number one. But number two is that voice, man. He needs his own show.
Yeah, he does.
He's got a great voice. Him and the coach over at Belfry, they both got amazing voices.
Coach Haywood is another one I'm wanting to get on the show. I would love to have him. I know he's a busy man. We were talking about 4 weeks ago how they were 0-5, how the sky was falling. I said, don't worry about that 0-5 record. Yeah. I said, they're going to get back. I said, they're going to win their district. They're going to get that number 1 seed. I said, they'll be right back in the thick of things when it gets a playoff time. So I said, don't you worry about that 0-5. Because,
same thing happens with some of those bigger schools too. Well, bigger class schools, Trinity, for example, you know how tough of a schedule they play each and every year. They come into the playoffs. They might not have even won a game, but then all of a sudden, my goodness, they run through Kentucky like it's nothing, right?
Well, they're probably Trinity. If I'm looking at stuff right now, Trinity's probably going to finish 4th in their district or 3rd. There's only 3 teams in their district.
Yeah, they are down this year. But if you go back to their state championship team, they started off the season, what was it, 0-3, 0-4, something like that?
Yep.
I mean, think about that, man.
That's crazy. I mean, I think the weird thing about it, too, is I knew Trinity has played 7 schools this year, or 6 schools, out of state, and he didn't play them because they want to get beat, because these are good football teams they're playing. They done it for playoffs because they knew playing the district teams in their class probably wasn't going to benefit them none. And I think that's smart football. Jay Cobb. He's been around football for 50 years. He coached at Knox County in the mountains. He coached at Somerset. He's been at Trinity for the past 20 years, assistant, this first year head coach. He knows he knows how to get the job done, and he knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does.
But but Coach Hines, I put him up there with the weather coaches. I mean, he's been around a long time. He knows what he's doing, and he's a very good coach. If you've never been to a Pulaski County football game, you need to go view one live. I've been there many times doing radio, and it's a lot of fun. They get rowdy. They get rowdy in there.
I can tell you. I can tell you from experience of when he does come to Lexington, and I get to see, those games. I know that the opposing coaches have nothing but absolute love for that guy. I mean, they admire him, and when you got that kind of respect as a coach with other coaches, you're doing something right, man. You're doing something real right. Coach Charles of LCA, he has big things to say about him. Lexington Catholic's head coach, he has big things to say about him. I mean, just the list goes on and on.
Well, you look at the schedule Pulaski County played. They played Belfry. Yeah, beat them pretty good on the home opener. Then they put Catholic and Bowl and Corbin back to back. I mean, that's a gauntlet in itself. And then they played Madison Southern before they got in district play. And I thought what was smart was he played Bale last week so that he would have open week before the playoffs. So when nobody get hurt, everybody healthy, ready to go for the playoffs. That's just smart football on his part. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. Right as of right now, they're both going to host a first round game, and North Laurel's waiting to see where they'll wind up at, because North Laurel will play the loser of the game on Friday night. So it'd be a lot of fun.
I was passed a note told to remind everybody too. Tomorrow night we'll have Johnson Central's girls soccer team playing at Lexington Catholic in the playoffs tomorrow. It's the Sweet 16 of the girls soccer tournament. So shameless plug there, but I know you got a lot of Johnson Central fans on.
We do, and I would love to check it out. That'll be on Prep Spin, right?
It'll be live on Prep Spin HD video tomorrow night.
Yep, that'll be at Lexington Catholic. Lexington Catholic High School is what you said?
Yeah, it's it's the Sweet 16 version of the soccer playoffs on the girls' side.
Yep.
And it starts tomorrow. So whoever wins that moves on to the Elite 8. And I guess we have to say Final 8 because of copyright issue. But
we can't steal somebody else's stuff, so they get mad.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
William, what did you think about Kentucky yesterday?
I really like it, and Stoops there at the end. I really like that they decided to score that touchdown. Not because of people that might have bet on the game, although I'm sure a lot of folks covering that spread was very, very happy.
A lot of money.
Yeah, but gamble with responsibility, definitely. But no, listen, Kentucky is a really, really good football team. Georgia's a really great football team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kentucky, right now, I think that when you look at the Kentucky Wildcats, CJ, I honestly think that we've got an opportunity to go to one of the big major bowls, the Sugar Bowl or the Fiesta Bowl or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think they can win out. I don't think
absolutely.
You got Mississippi State, who looked horrible last night, but Alabama makes everybody look horrible. Tennessee at home is going to be a different game now. Vanderbilt there, or New Mexico, and then Louisville. And I think Kentucky's got a great chance to be 11-1. Have an opportunity to maybe steal a big time bowl, like you said. And I believe that.
Yeah, if they went out, there's no doubt about it. They'll get a big time bowl. That's what I'm saying. The Sugar Bowl is a very big possibility. Even the Fiesta Bowl is not out of reach.
Yeah, there's no question about that. He's early. We like promptness here on the show. Sometimes if you get early, then we give you bonus points later down the road. With us is John Lowe, WYMT Sports Director. John, good to have you with us.
Good to be here. Gonna have to remember that. Always gonna be punctual for you.
Well, I like punctuality. I'm good on it. You was actually not supposed to be on the 9:05, but Les has not come on. Les must have got busy because I know he's doing the other show going on over there on his network. So he might have got busy with that. So, Les gets on here maybe a little bit later because I had to move you guys from the 9:30 slot just tonight because Coach McNamee said they couldn't get done with their coaches meeting until 9:30. So he said that I said, that's no problem, Coach. I can switch it for this week, and that won't be a problem. Because I know that John and Courtney and Camille doesn't care to go a little early, and then I'll put them back in their spot next week because I like you guys in that 9:30, but I really want Coach McNamee on the show. So I had just do a little swamp in there. Let's get to week 7. Week 7 was better than week 6, I guess, if you want to say that.
I don't know. There were a lot of blowout games.
They were.
Yeah. I mean, the Bell County Pulaski County game was good.
Awesome.
I thought Bell County. I haven't submitted my ballot yet for the Mountain Top 10. They need to be higher than 10. They're much better than the 10th best team in the mountains, and they proved that on Friday. And then what was the other close one? I think it was one game of the week. McGoffin and Pike Central. That 76.
They played a basketball game.
Yeah,
they played a basketball game. I looked at that score and I went, "Did they really play football, or did they go in the gym and decide to play basketball?" Because I couldn't believe that. I was like, there ain't no way.
I think they left their defenses in Pike County.
That was crazy.
But I dig this up. I just saw the stat. This is McGoffin County's quarterback, Lucas Literal. He went 12 of 22 passing, 338 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then he had 11 carries for 170 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. So that was the same matchup as the Matt Anderson 8 touchdown game from last year. So I need to talk to Neil Middleton, but I would think we need to find out when that McGoffin County Pike Central game is next year. That's game of the week. That's got to be game of the week.
I would have no problem with that because if you're going to cut, what was it, 90 over 100 points between the two teams, or 90 points? It was somewhere in that area.
If my math's right, I think it's about 130.
Let's see, 76-54. So it was, McGoffin County's basketball team don't score 76 points the whole year. I mean,
I didn't know McGoffin County had a basketball team, but apparently they just put the football players in the gym.
Well, most of the kids that play football for McGoffin play basketball. I mean, that's crazy. The one team that I thought really proved themselves on Friday night was Pikeville. I thought Pikeville really did prove themselves. I thought Winsburg, if this is a close game, then I think Pikeville's for real. If they get blown out, then I know it's same old. But Jason I think he pulled the hat trick on Friday night.
Yeah. There were two games like that Friday night. There was that game, Pineville-Williamsburg, where it was up and coming team versus, established, and the other one was Lawrence County and Belfry. Lawrence County didn't deliver. I think they have a good future, but I mean, Belfry's gonna. Like you said it just a second. Belfry's gonna Belfry. Don't worry about that 0-5.
Yeah, so, I just told William that. I just told William the same thing you just said. I said, John, don't worry about that 0-5. That 0-5 wasn't. That was not an important stat at all. I said, I said they're going to get back, win the district, get number 1 seed. I said they'll get back to 500, close to 500, and then they'll make their run in the playoffs and be right there among the tops in Class 3A football. So that 0-5 was just a blimp on them in the way, just a little extra mark there that was just in the way.
The thing that'll be interesting to see down the road in 3A is I would love to see a Belfry-Bell County game. That would be amazing. I would love to watch that. I don't know how that would go down. I'm thinking Belfry, but I'd love to see that. I really would love to see that.
Right now, if you go to the RPI, Bell County's, well, I'm not seeing the new ones, but last week, Bell County was 8. No, Bell County was 6. Belfry was 18. Now, I'm not seeing the new RPI because it comes out today. So I will say Belfry probably moved up a couple more spots.
I would think. I haven't seen the new RPI yet either, but I would think so.
Lawrence County was 10. Lawrence County was 10 in the RPI last week. I would expect Bell's going to drop a little bit because of the loss to Pulaski County, but not much. And I think Belfry moves up a little more. I think they move up a little bit more. I can't remember who's in front of them, but I think they could jump some teams. But I would like to see that game. That would be a wild game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great coaching matchup too.
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to this week. And this is a very fun week because you guys had about 6 games that you could have chose for game of the week. I know you guys are going to be at Pulaski County for Southwestern and Pulaski County. Great choice. I just had Coach Hines on the show.
We're not going to be there. We're going to be in Hazard.
So you changed your mind. Okay. All right.
We actually, I got off the phone on Friday. We actually, according to our media people, the marketing people, they sold out ads for that game a week before, a week early than they normally would have for Pikeville Hazard. Yeah. Just because of the way last year ended with Max Johnson, and I'll be interested to see how that goes down because Hazard's not bad. I believe Prepspin had the Hazard Sayre game. Yeah. They beat Sayre, so I don't know if they can make see what they can do with Pikeville. I don't think Pikeville loses to Hazard, but we'll see what happens. But
that was Sayre's first home loss too, I believe. In program history.
Really? That I did not know. That's incredible.
No, I didn't know that either.
Since they restarted, since they restarted the program. See, it had that big gap from the late 70s until, Chad started it back up, Chad Pennington. But that was their first home loss in the 3 years that he's had it together, or 2 years he's had it together, I believe is what it is. But.
I do like seeing what he's done there, and it's his son, great quarterback, Cole, great quarterback. Yeah. But sorry, CJ, you were talking about Pulaski County and Southwestern?
Yeah. That is on my best games of the week. Pikeville Hazard. Let's see. There was a couple more that I loved. Paintsville Wrestling.
Johnson Central, Letcher County, or Letcher Central.
Johnson Central, Letcher Central. And I think that was it. Let's see. Yeah, that was it. Well, Bell and Estill. I think the Bell and Estill game is going to be pretty good too. Let's take one game at a time and go over a little bit. You guys are doing the Pikeville Hazard game on YMT. So, can Letcher Central play? I know every time that I pick against them in my picks, I end up losing my pick because I don't pick with them. Now, I'm going to pick Johnson Central. I'll let you know that now, but should I expect a close game?
The fact that it's in Whitesburg makes me think it'll be tighter. But the one thing I noticed, and this is something that I made a mistake a couple of weeks ago when I was on Sports Overtime. I accidentally called Letcher Central a district favorite, not thinking that Johnson Central was in their district. Yeah. I had a little bit of a brain fart, and then I got a lot of pushback from some Johnson Central folks on that. But when I watched Letcher Central go down to Harlan County, they had a pretty slow start in that game. They cannot do that against Johnson Central. With how inspired they're playing right now, with the amount of talent they have on the field, I think if Letcher Central can not have that slow start that I've seen, I think they could compete. If they do, I think it's going to get really ugly really fast.
Yeah, I agree too. Raceland's home against Paintsville at Raceland. This is a big game for Paintsville because I feel like if Paintsville don't win this game, then their playoff chances are still going to be they're going to get in. They're probably going to host a home playoff game, but then they're probably going to be eliminated in the second round if they don't get it going. Because I think they can play with anybody if they play. Sometimes they just haven't played this year.
The wild card in that district was Betsy Lane. Betsy Lane had a really good, it would appear to be a really good start. They were playing teams like Martin County very well. I mean, they beat Martin County for week 1. And they were just crushing teams like Phelps and Morgan County and teams like that. And I never really know what they had. They were undefeated until they played Raceland. And then they go up to Raceland, they get just smashed. And then they played Paintsville on Friday. That's the game I was at, actually, and they got smashed. They were down, I think, 28-0 at halftime. And, I think so Painesville will at least host a playoff game. I'm not so sure, though, with the pedigree that has been with that series between Raceland and Painesville. I think with Cherico gone, and with a lot of those pieces that Painesville had last year, I just don't think it quite goes their way. We'll see. I think it's still going to be a great game. I just don't know if Raceland I don't think Paintsville can pull that out against Raceland, but we'll see.
And, of course, the game I think is one of the best games in the mountains, Pulaski County and Southwestern. If Drew Parsons just got done talking with Coach Hines, he's excited. Coach Foley last week, they're excited. They got the youth going to be there. They got everything. They're going to have the biggest crowd ever. This is the Don Franklin Bowl. The favorite has not won this game the last 3 years. Southwestern's won 4 of the last 5. Does Pulaski County finally break out hold? Through much of the year, John Hines has been retweeting us with saying things like unfinished and things like that. I think his team is on a mission. And I saw him on your show a little earlier. I caught a little bit on Facebook. I still have not had a hot dog there. I need to get a hot dog there. Where you at, John?
It's a real ballpark hot dog. We're being told.
It is. It's the best hot dog I've ever ate. I mean, you got to have one. If you go there, you got to get one.
I'd love to make that trip. It's crazy because they have me anchor. I can't make the 2-hour drive, and then come back. But I think Pulaski County has really something special. And Chandler Godby and Drew Polson, that connection is just so dynamic. I have not physically seen Southwestern with my own eyes. I do not know. I know they are good. I know they are a very efficient team. I can't really judge them because I haven't physically seen them play. My gut tells me Pulaski County. There is no science in that prediction. There's no, research in that. That's just gut feeling goes Maroons.
Yeah. William, questions for Mr. John?
You're doing great stuff over there, man, at the TV station, and congratulations on all your success.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Thanks. And I did what game was it earlier this year? I think it was Lex Cath and Pulaski County, I think. It was it might have been Pulaski County LCA.
Pikeville, right? Was it Lexington Catholic in Pikeville?
There was one up there that went down to the wire.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was like what was it, like something like 27-24 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like it came down to I can't remember if it came down to Philo. Week 2 was so long ago.
That's what it was. It was, I believe it was Pikeville at Lexington Catholic that week. Yeah. Yeah,
but the quality of your guys' streams are fantastic. I mean, I did catch some of Hazard Sayre this past week. And so I mean I really love what you guys do up there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
you guys were talking a little bit about the Kentucky game before I came on, and from what I saw yesterday, I saw most of the first half before we had to start getting ready for the show. I really liked the play calling. I thought the play calling was very I thought it was great. I think Georgia's defense is just that good.
I think it was speed. Georgia's they're so fast, man. We couldn't get a pass game going.
Kudos though to keeping them down though in the first quarter. I mean, scoreless in the first quarter.
Yeah.
As an outsider, I mean, you guys, you can tell behind me, I'm not originally a Kentucky fan. Just wait till I have to interview Oscar Sheboy for the first time. I didn't really know just how good Kentucky, especially after watching Florida lose to LSU. I was like, okay, well, how good is this Kentucky team really?
Yeah.
I know they're top 25 for sure, but watching them compete throughout the first half, I was like, okay, this Kentucky team's for real. And I think Neil Middleton, he tweeted about it afterwards. He said it best. He is almost more motivated about Kentucky now than he was before the Georgia game, even though they lost.
Well, here's the moral, or here's the victory for us in all this is we're the best damn team that Georgia's played all season. I guarantee it.
Oh, absolutely,
no doubt about it.
The
one thing though, today when they brought the AP poll out, Kentucky only dropped 3 spots. So the coaches, the media saw that, they recognized that what William just said, because they could have put them down in the 20s and now they're 15. And me and William just said, I don't think they're going to lose another game. I seriously don't. I mean, they're off this week, and that's the best thing in the world for them when they're off. I mean, you got Mississippi State. There are 2 road games for Mississippi State and Vanderbilt and Louisville. I don't think they can lose those. I think they win those. And the 2 home games, I think they win both those.
I think Kentucky is better than the rest of the teams on their schedule for sure. I think Mississippi State, I don't know, gut feeling, it could be a trap game. I don't think it will be a trap game, but it could be a trap game. Because Mississippi State's been kind of streaky this year, and same thing with Tennessee. I know it's in Lexington, but I think Tennessee has shown flashes of brilliance, and as long as they don't throw anything, I think.
What I do have a question. Camille was not a part of that throwing stuff last night, was she? She did not. She was not a part of that. I hope not.
I hope not,
because I know she's a classy woman, so I would know she would not be throw bottles and stuff on a field. That could have got somebody hurt.
Oh, absolutely. I actually, that reminded me of when about 10 years ago, West Virginia played Pitt in basketball, and that's a huge rivalry in the East. And the WVU students were throwing stuff at Pitt assistant coaches and bench players. And Bob Huggins came to the scorer's table, grabbed a PA mic, and said, "Hey, stop throwing stuff on the court. It's stupid. It's stupid." And that's just what I was reminded of last night. You can go on YouTube and look that up. But
we saw golf balls. We saw a mustard container there. I didn't see any Frank's Red Hot though, because we put that on everything. But
I didn't see any Ale bottles down there, so I think Camille is free.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I would expect them to act better than that, because that's just not. I mean, the Ole Miss coach, I think he got hit in the head with a golf ball, didn't he?
I
almost got hit in the head with a golf ball.
I saw that he caught one as he was walking out. I saw that. That was pretty funny. I mean, I shouldn't say funny, but it was cool that he was able to make light of the situation, Lane Kiffin. But yeah, I mean, you shouldn't. I saw
he threw his visor into the crowd as he was going out through the tunnel there. That was pretty cool.
I understand why people don't like Lane Kiffin, but man, I love how there is a college football troll coaching one of the biggest programs in the SEC. I don't know. He's a troll, but he's still a good football coach.
I like him. I do.
Yeah.
Well, you would expect his teams to act like that. And they were the ones behaving, and Tennessee was acting bad. So, couple more questions. William, you got anything else you want to ask John?
I'm
Oh
sorry.
man, I just I just admire your work, man, and keep doing big things over there.
Thanks, I appreciate it. One thing that's kind of been in the works right now, and we don't know when it's going to come out, and I know Camille's been working very hard on it. We want to do a little bit more coverage on just what Jim Matney has meant to the area, to the mountains. We don't really know what that's going to look like, but we are kind of in the process of really kind of tracking down his legacy more and celebrating him. I know there was a lot said by some others at SOAR over the week down in Corbin about his legacy, and our thoughts continue to be with his family and the whole Johnson Central community. It's really been cool to see how well they've been playing so far. In the weeks since he was hospitalized and since his death, it's just been really heartwarming to watch. I look forward to seeing what happens this week with those games you guys mentioned, especially that Pulaski County Southwestern game. Pikeville Hazard should be fun too, but I think Pulaski Southwestern, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big game.
Like you said on Johnson Central, they still got a lot of growing to go. I mean, still got a lot. I mean, it's gonna take a long time for this for them to never forget. And we'll never forget because Coach Matney meant that much to the mountains in the state of Kentucky. So the blue-white game is this coming Friday night. What are you anticipating in this? Because I thought what I saw at Blue Midnight Madness was pretty exciting.
I haven't really watched too much of BBM only because that was sports overtime. But I'll be interested to see how these transfers blend in with how bought in they are to Kentucky and how that blends with the freshman class coming in. I mean, that's because this is a Kentucky basketball team like we haven't seen in a while.
It's experience.
It is, yeah. It's something that is not really a concept that's existed at Kentucky over the past 10, 12 years. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I'm really just kind of looking more forward to the exhibition games when they have to see some other competition, Kentucky Wesleyan, Miles College, and then, of course, the game against Duke in MSG. So
that's a big first measuring game. You know, that Duke at Madison Square Garden, my goodness.
I was really, really trying to make sure that we covered that because I don't think we'll be able to. But man, I really wanted to go because it's Coach K's last season, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of hoopla around that as well. So that would have been, man. Can you think of a better? Huh?
To say it should be a good blue-white game though. Friday night. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know how much coverage we'll have of it. We're going to certainly try to talk to our old buddy Brian Milam, see what he can send down to us. But it should be an interesting thing to watch. I still can't get over last Friday, Coach Elsie rappelling down Rupp Arena. That looked pretty neat too.
I saw that.
Yeah,
that was. I said, Coach, don't snap and break. Don't get hurt. One more thing, I'll let you go, or two more things, I'll let you go.
Sure.
Ed Orgeron today was told, apparently, that he's done at the end of the year. Why not just go ahead and do it now? Because I feel like that. What if LSU was to run the table? What if they go upset Alabama, or what? I mean, and then that makes it look so worse, or that's not a word, but not good in the eyes of them. If they was just going to do, they should have done it. Just go ahead and send him on his way. But am I wrong about this? Am I seeing that wrong?
I was kind of going because I heard about it, and I was reading kind of what CBI. And I guess they just had a news conference about it a little bit ago. But I would imagine that I feel like it's almost just kind of get it all out in the open. Everyone knows he's going to be gone at the end of the season. Might as well be more transparent about it. That's what I think might be the thing behind it. And plus, the thing that I've been talking to Courtney Lane Brewer about, because she went to LSU, so she has a lot of opinions on this. But now he's going back to what he is, which is the best interim head coach in the history of college football. So,
Yeah.
If you're looking for an interim head coach, and who better than Ed Orgeron? So that could be part of the reason, or I think he's, at least because he's so linked to Louisiana and the culture down there, I think he's probably at least earned the right to at least finish out the season. So, but we'll see what happens. LSU's clearly not dead, as they showed yesterday. So
no, you beat Florida. That's a big win, and this is huge. One more thing.
That's a big mistake, in my opinion. Just having that guy's a really good coach. I think. I just think if he had the right tools in place there, that things would start clicking a little bit better. And it looks like they're going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. And that could be why.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why they're not running him go right now. Maybe it's something they can reverse.
Yeah. Hopefully it gets better. For one other thing, I noticed that Mississippi State's women's coach had to resign because of health reasons. And I have saw in reports that they're red hot after Matthew Mitchell. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not. But that is something I'm going to look into, because I had not.
I know that they had a list of candidates that there was narrowed down, and he was in the top 7 candidates.
I wonder if he'd even do it, though, considering what he's gone through.
Yeah, he's had a rough time too, health-wise. But now I did hear through the grapevines that he said he's just doing much better, and he would love to coach again someday. He said if he could get his health undertaken, he said he would love to come back again. So, in Mississippi State, we know how good a program it has been the last 6 years, because they've been to they won NCAA Women's Championship. They've been to the Final Four 2 or 3 times. So, I just thought that was interesting when I saw his name linked to that coaching search Tuesday. So, be interested to see.
Yeah.
Well, John's been another great one. I don't know who's going to be with me next week. Courtney usually, Camille tries to tell me usually Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, so I know who to send the invitation. Courtney did not do this, but we need to make a group messenger, me, you, her, and Camille, so that when I do send out the invitation, who's ever going to be on can it automatically go there and not fill up your box. So if you guys want to put that together, we'll go ahead and start doing that.
Yeah, we'll work on making that better for you. And the way things have been kind of lately is just we never know. We have a plan at the beginning of the week, and then it never ends up being that way by the end of the week. So, we'll definitely figure that out.
Well, you guys are so busy right now. You got football winding up, round ball starting, and you got all kinds of things going on. So it's going to be a busy 4 or 5 weeks coming up. But Friday night's going to be fun. It's going to be some great games, and get out, watch your local team and support them. But the YMT game of the week is Pikeville and Hazard. But there is some great games out there, and go out there and support your local team. John, we will see you later.
All right. Good to be here. Thanks, CJ.
All right. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. John Lowe from WYMT he does a good job there, William. He's coming there and fitting in real well.
That's what I was telling you about. Being able to, I've got that YouTube TV, so I'm able to watch WKYT and WYMT whenever I want, because both of them are on my package. So I do tune in a lot and watch, sports overtime, and try to learn a lot more about the mountain sports than what I normally get to hear. So, and of course, watching your show and tuning into you, I'm starting to learn a lot more about the mountain. So I appreciate the opportunity to be on here on your show.
I'm hoping that eventually you'll be able to get to do some games down here in the mountains.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That'll really help you tremendously there.
Yeah, is do you guys consider Shelby Valley? Is that considered mountain school?
Yes, it is. Excuse me,
Okay.
it's in the 15th region.
Yeah, so I think we're going to end up going over there and do a girls basketball game this season.
Yep,
We're talking with them, yeah, because they
got the Rowe girls going to UK.
Yeah,
Cassidy Rowe.
Yeah, Cassidy's. So yeah, we're looking for the right game there. Coach has sent me a schedule, and we're just kind of.
Well, if you want to cover some really good basketball, boys and girls, 13th region is your bread and butter. And I know you know that because with Reed Shepherd at North Laurel, the Turner kid at Knox Central. I mean, it's just everybody wants to cover every game over there. I mean, they forget about there's a 14th and 15th, but because it's all about the 13th.
Yeah, we had that North Laurel game on.
Good teams over there.
Yeah, we had that North Laurel game on last year. I think you was talking about, you tuned in to watch it, but it was on statewide TV. We found out, so that was pretty cool. How you could take a high school gym and broadcast it all over the state and then online all over the world. It's pretty awesome. A lot of people watched that one.
Yeah, well, that was an important 2 nights for North Laurel. They got beat the night before. Yeah. Was it Ashland?
Ashland Blazer, yeah.
And then they came to Lexington Catholic and played that game, and then took an L. But just to see you guys put the game on was tremendous because it was just really fun to watch those games on there. And I can't wait to see you guys do more games this year on the CW and KYT and stuff.
We're excited, and I believe WYMT might cover it on their sub channel as well at times when we have the mountain schools going on. So we have been talking with the general manager down there as well through Jeff Anderson, the general manager at KYT. So anytime we have 2 of those schools clash, and able to put it on, then we'll certainly use those avenues to be able to put that out on major broadcast, local TV, if you will.
I was just double checking to see if Les. I say he got busy tonight because helping with the other show they do.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was on vacation last week, or I wouldn't have bothered him. But he checked right in with us, and that was a lot of fun. He was at a restaurant, was going to come back, and couldn't find no phone service. We're supposed to have Coach McNamee in about 4 or 5 minutes, so hopefully we'll get him on the show. And then we've had a good show tonight. It's been a good show, really good. I want to go over a couple other things. I was wanting to speak about UK basketball with you. What do you think about Midnight Madness?
To be honest with you, I haven't even watched it yet because we had that game on Friday night, and Saturday got here, and I was watching the UK Georgia game, and I was doing another event during the morning period, so I haven't even watched it yet. I've got it recorded, but not watched it.
Yeah, I watched it when I got back home on Saturday morning. It was a good game. It was a good atmosphere. It was great to see everybody back at Rupp Arena.
Yeah, well, you say everybody back at Rupp Arena, but there was a lot of empty seats there because everybody was going to that Georgia game.
Yeah. There was, speaking of people in Georgia, there was a lot of blue there yesterday for that game.
Yeah, there was a sea of red, as you saw there. CBS kept showing the red, but you're right. On one side of that stadium, there's quite a bit of blue.
Well, CBS and the UK football and basketball, they don't get the best treatment when they're on there. That's why I don't like to see them on 3:30 game. I like to see them on 7:30 or 7 o'clock on ESPN or something because that's what CBS doesn't respect us.
Well, in CBS, every time the football team's on CBS, we end up losing the game. So that's another thing we probably should have known that was coming. So
I knew when I saw the 3:30 kick in Georgia, I said, well, we're in trouble. CBS has got it. Well, we're in trouble.
Yeah, and it's a different kind of heat down there too in Georgia. I don't know what the temperature was for that ball game, but it's a different kind of. It's almost like a swamp heat down there.
I'm gonna test Les. He just texted me back. I'm gonna tell him to holler us at 9:45.
Yeah.
Because in case Coach McNamee comes on, it'll give me enough time to get him in. So
we got a good baseball game going on right now between the Dodgers and the Braves, tied up at 2-2.
Trying to see it over I'm trying to see it over your shoulder there. What's the score?
At fifth inning, 2-2. So
2-2.
Schwarzer's been pulled there for the Dodgers, and it looks
The
like they
Braves
got
won the
into
first
bullpen.
game last night.
They did.
And the Red Sox and the Astros are tied at 1-1 now, going to Game 3 tomorrow night.
Yeah, that'd be a big time. Who's your picks for the World Series? Who do you like?
I like Houston and the Dodgers, but I think, I believe it's going to wind up being probably the Red Sox and the Braves. So
that'd be a cool World Series, the Red Sox and Braves. But I'm a Dodgers fan. This year I'm a lifelong Cubs fan. Let me get that out first and foremost. Been since 1989, but I have watched a lot of Dodgers game this year. Walker Buehler, he's a Henry Clay guy here, and I've been able to follow him quite a bit.
Yep. Well, baseball's almost coming to conclusion. With us right now is Pikeville head coach Chris McNamee. Coach, it's great to have you with us.
Hey, thank you for having me on.
Coach, can you turn yourself up a little bit? I cannot hear you. Want to make sure we don't miss nothing you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're just low.
I'm not sure what else to do. I'm just using my phone here.
Okay. You've got your volume turned up all the way up. Let me turn me down a little bit. That might help, though. Coach, it's great to have you on the show. How are things in Pikeville?
Everything's good. Going a good year. Everything feels like we're a little bit more back to normal this year. So tickled to be being able to play football each week.
Coach, you have it's been a strange year for you. You started off pretty good. You guys played. You got the win over Paintsville when you moved the game to be able to get a game in. And then, unfortunately, you didn't get to play the Pike County Bowl, which is your bowl. I was hoping that somebody would step up and would play you guys, because you guys did not deserve that. You guys deserve to play in your bowl, but I understand the circumstances and stuff like that. But you wound up having a nice season again, another nice season again. You've been rolling right along, and I have to give you a lot of credit, Coach. Your schedule this year has been brutal because you played some really good football teams.
Yeah, we have, and I think opening up with Paintsville, and I appreciate Coach Hoskins, moving that to that first week. We both had a cancellation that first week, and at that time, everything looked like it was kind of going to be like last year. It'd be kind of tough to get games, but then, yeah, it was a disappointment not being able to play in our own bowl game, the Pike County Bowl, which we played in for 30-some years. So, but it was tough to get. We found out on Thursday that Bourbon County wasn't coming, and we tried to get somebody, but wasn't able to. But I appreciate Letcher County stepping up and playing us that next week, and then I can't remember how we ended up with Wheelersburg, but we went to Wheelersburg, Ohio. They had a cancellation, so went up there, and then got back into our schedule with LCA and Madison Central, and then into the district.
Coach, I'm sorry, CJ, but Coach, I was just curious. Was it just schools scared to come and play at your place? Is that what it is? I mean, you guys kind of got a reputation of beating everybody that you play at home, but what was that about, Coach?
Well, I think there's several different factors, and I think the RPI has something to do with it. Sometimes, if a bigger school not afraid they're going to get beat, but they're taking a lot of chances. It's kind of a lose-lose for them. If they come down and play us and beat us, they really don't benefit point-wise. If they come down and we're able to get them, then that hurts them. So there's not really a good scenario for them. And then, a lot of things I think in Eastern Kentucky that kind of hurt us is just our location. A lot of people, don't want to travel this far, and that's why we ended up going to to Wheelersburg and to Lexington, to Richmond, places like that, because our people are real supportive and will let us do those kind of things. But I think there's a lot of different factors that go into it, and we just appreciate any time we can play on Friday.
Yeah.
The one big thing that I've learned watching you coach the last 10, 20 years you've been around, you are a player's coach first. You do a great job with your kids. You're a winning program every year. And tell me how you get your kids to buy in, Coach, because it amazes me that you've had such great success, and you're a great coach, but you took some kids that are average kids and made them really good football players.
Well, I appreciate that, but I think it's a lot, and I think there's a lot of communities around here in Eastern Kentucky that their community takes a lot of pride in the program. Their school administration backs the program, and then you've got a level of tradition that you want to kind of maintain and build upon. But after that, you talk about developing players. I think that we do a pretty good job from Little League to junior high. Matt Branham coaches our junior high program. Our high school, I've got an excellent coaching staff here now who loves these kids and tries to make them better men, better players. So we're really fortunate to have what we have right now.
Coach, how important is it
Your
to have that
quarterback
system in
is-
place?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, William.
How important is it to have that kind of system in place where you have your you have your hands, so to speak, in the young youth leagues?
Yeah, and I think that that's something that we've been able to do for a long time, and there were several schools that did that. Our Little League is made up of Pikeville Independent kids only, and we have a second, third, and fourth grade group, and a fourth, fifth, and sixth grade group, and we've got about 100 kids at that level playing, and they just play each other. We have a lot of people who want to go to a travel team and play different schools and all that, and I see the benefit of that. But I really think the more that you can get interested in football at a young age, naturally kids are going to drop off as they get older and find other things they're interested in. So the more that you can get early, then that's going to help us later down the road. And I think that we have Kevin McNamee, who does our Little League program. He's a former Panther, was in the insurance business for a long time, retired, has a lot of pride in our football program and basketball. He does basketball as well, but he's over our Little League and does a great job taking care of that. And like I said, Matt Branham, who's a quarterback here in the late 90s, early 2000s, he came back and started coaching for us a few years ago. Kids love him. He does a great job. His brother Blake, and they've got a good coaching staff at that level too. So I think it's important that that me and my coaching staff are involved from the ground up.
Yeah. Your quarterback coach is unbelievable. He's had a great year. He's broke several records. Well recognized throughout the state. Tell me what Isaac has meant to the program, because he's really come along all 4 years he's been there at Pikeville.
Well, it means a lot to me because he's my son. He's my last son, so it's kind of, I'm starting to feel it a little bit, him getting ready to graduate. But he's had a little adversity these past couple of years. He with COVID and not being able to go to camps and all that kind of stuff, that COVID year. And then last year, during the season, a lot of people don't know, but he tore his labrum, had surgery in the off season, and he wasn't able to throw until July of this summer, and he missed all those camps and all that stuff again this summer. But he's gradually gotten back to where he's throwing the ball well and feels a little more confident throwing. But it's never one person here that does it. He's got 10 other guys on offense, and we want to spread that ball around as much as we can.
You got a fun game Friday night coming up with Hazard. You guys always bring the best of each other out. Coach Howard said that before, really respected you, said you guys, your program is one of the top notch. What's it going to take to beat Hazard? Because they've improved a ton in the last year or two.
Oh, they have, and I think that Dan's doing a great job down there. Got a good staff involved there, and I kind of think our situations are the same. Small independent districts who I think have a lot of support. I know their principal and really supports athletics down there, and as well as academics. So a lot of similarities there, and they've got a great group of kids that have come through, play extremely hard. So we're looking forward to a great game Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the better games in the state, not just in the mountains, in the state, because I think you two, you always put on a good show when you guys get together, regardless if it's a regular season game or a playoff game. Then you will end the year with your home senior night against Castlewood, Virginia. What's it going to take for Pikeville to get back to Kroger Field?
Well, I think it's going to take playing well in the right times. I think staying focused and taking it week by week. And I'm not for. I voted against playing inter-district because depending on what happens this week, then we'll know who we have in the first round of the playoffs and who we have in the second round. But you're going to see those two teams. You'll see the first round team again, which we just played both of our district games, and then we'll see another district opponent that second week. But and sometimes it's hard to get kids to focus for a game that you played somebody not too long ago. But that's something we learned over this past year, that regardless of who you're playing, you got to be in the moment, prepare the best you can, and play the best you can. Because when you get to the playoffs, it's win or go home.
Coach, I know it's focused on this year, but are you glad to see that changing back next year to where you play a different district there in the first round of the playoffs?
Yeah, I think so. I think it. I think it's better for our schools because you're seeing a different team that you haven't played before.
Right.
And a lot of times you get a 1 and 4 seed, and they come back in and it's somebody that played 3 weeks ago, and you may have beat them bad, and fans don't want to come out. The kids aren't really interested. The team that lost is probably not pumped up about playing that same game. And if you're playing somebody from another district, you're always telling your kids you have a chance. So I like seeing somebody new and playing a different opponent myself.
That's the thing too, is you may have played somebody that maybe you put up quite a bit of points on the board against, and it's hard to get your kids back into something like that, isn't it, Coach? Knowing that, hey, we beat these guys 50-0, last time we played them, and just trying to get everybody pumped up about a game like that, Coach. It's kind of hard to do, isn't it?
It is, and we've learned we've been on the bad side of those things a couple times, and and that's one of the challenges of coaching. You got to have your guys ready each week, and I take responsibility for that. So it's a challenge for us, but something we have to step up and improve on.
Well, Coach, it's an absolute honor to have you on the show. Would you come back again? I would love to have you again. You're a good interview. I really enjoy you so much. You're a good coach. Got a good team. I'm looking forward to your game Friday night. Anytime you and Hazard get together, that's usually it's always a slobber knocker. So it's going to be a very intense game, but I would love for you to come back.
Yeah, reach out. We'll do it again. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Always. Coach Chris McNamee on the Pikeville Panthers. Coach, good luck to you Friday night, and we'll see you down the road.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Coach. Chris McNamee of the Pikeville Panthers as they get set for the Bulldogs of Hazard on Friday night. Where you just mentioned something that I didn't know. So I'm behind. Are they getting rid of the RPI next year?
Yeah, they're going back to the way it used to be, where you're playing.
There's a God. Thank God.
Well, they tried something,
RPI.
and it doesn't seem to work like they had hoped it would. And so, they're going back to kind of the old system there. There's still, I mean,
That
I'm sure
means
there's still some tweaks in there, but it's tough, to play somebody, and then you got your regular season games here
Mhm.
too, CJ, where uh you might play somebody that you're going to play in the first or second round of the playoffs the way it's set up now, and you don't want to show them everything that first game, so that first game's kind of watered down.
yeah. But
That
you know what?
happens.
But you know what? It also kills you if you try to not, if you don't show a whole lot, not win that game,
Yep.
then you are not. You're going to get a bad seed and probably not get a home playoff game. It's going to not help you.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some watered down games of some teams that I know that are going to play each other, during the first round of the playoffs, and then they get to the first round of the playoffs or the second round of playoffs, and they play that team again, and it's a whole different type of ball game. I don't know if it's because they see them on film or been already matched up against them, and they go back and try to correct mistakes or whatever it is. But there's definitely two different sides of those ball games when you see those like that. And then sometimes it's the same way. You still blow them out either way if you see them. So it's going to be good to go back to the old way because different matchups are good, I think.
And also it will make your regular season games mean so much more now that you're playing for the district in the regular season, not in the playoffs. Then you can get back to the old way of, okay, I know that I'll use Leslie County, for example. They're in the district with Knott, Morgan, Breathitt, Middlesboro. The district where they're going to play next year will be Shelby Valley, West Carter, Bath County, Prestonsburg, Eastridge. So those matchups in the playoffs will be great games because Leslie County played Martin County, and Martin County's in that district. So, I mean, I'm so tickled to death we're going back to the OA. I was not a fan of the RPI and would have never. So, I mean, it's just, I'm just so tickled to death to hear you say that. And, I can't wait. It's going to be,
it's going to be
a lot more funner.
It'll be refreshing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Good for high school football.
Yeah. Well, when you can show up at the stadium in week 8, like tonight, like these games this week, Pikeville Hazard will be a district championship game. Mm-hmm. Southwestern Pulaski County would be a district championship game. I mean, those are all games that next year will be district championship games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't wait. That you just made my day. Thank you, Mr. William. You made me feel so much better. When did they decide on that? When I didn't hear about that.
I believe not last board meeting, but a few board meetings ago, they went through and did that. So they always go back and review. If you pay attention to KHSA calendar, and they go back and do a review of how things are. They plan them. I believe football's planned out 2 years apart. So.
Mm-hmm. I know they got realignment coming up in 23, so that's going to make it interesting too. With us, Mr. Les Dixon, the guru of sports in the mountains, especially in the 13th region, but I call him the guru of all regions and all mountains because he knows everything. If I need to know something, William, I usually go ask Les because he'll know it.
Yeah,
Les, it's good to see you.
Go split screen with Les for a minute. I'm going to step away from the camera just for a second, okay?
Okay, go ahead. You want me to take you out or just leave you there?
Yeah, I'll be right back. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Les.
Yes,
glad
sir.
You could get on. Just wanted to bring you on for just a quick little bit, and I'm going to bring you back if you'll come back again because I really want to break down basketball.
Yes, sir.
I just want to talk I want to talk some football and a little bit of basketball. Then I really want to focus on basketball and bring you back.
Okay.
This has been a strange year in the 13th region for football. What's been your most amazing thing you've seen, and what's the most disappointing thing you've seen?
Well, most amazing, impressive thing I've seen so far is just the way the Corbin Red Hounds are playing. I mean, I I really think this is their best chance to win a state championship in Class 4A, CJ. They've got everything. Coach Greer's got everything on offense and defense that you need to make a run. Offensively, they've got Seth Huff, Seth Mills, Cameron Combs, Dakota Patterson, Travion Longmire, and an offensive line that's just been dominant. And then defensively, you can go on and on and on. Evan Ford, just so much talent on that team. They're 8-0 right now. They should finish regular season play undefeated, and they'll make that run. And right now, I believe they're the number 3 ranked team in 4A according to the RPI, which the 2 teams above them is Bull County and Lexington Cass. So one of those teams are going to get eliminated when they face each other in the second round of the playoffs. So Corbin basically will be a 2 seed, and that will be big. But the most disappointing, I don't think it's, as in I expected this year, but South Laurel made a move and got Jeff Irwin coming back. And when he was at South Laurel for his first go around, they were beating Corbin. He had that program top notch, making the playoffs, and he left and he was successful down in I believe Georgia and Alabama. Coached 2 years at Whitley and came back. And it's not that it's disappointing in the team. I'm not disappointed in the team at all because he took over a very young and inexperienced team. But this schedule that was left for them, it was just, this schedule that they played is top notch. First off, they play in one of the best districts in Class 5A. You got Pulaski County, Southwestern, North Laurel. You got 3 legit teams that's been ranked in the top 10 in Class 5A this year. And then you're talking about going and playing teams like Madison Central and just a tough schedule. Jeff Irwin's done a fantastic job, and he'll have that program built. He'll have that program built. It might take a couple of years. Another disappointing.
I'm a big fan of the Collett kid, quarterback for South Laurel.
Yes,
I think Landry Collett Jr. is an unbelievable athlete,
and he is. He can play. And they've got some talent on that team. It's just they're young, need some help up front on the line, and they'll get that. It's just, Coach Irwin's been, very patient with this group, and it's hard, for them right now. Real quick, one last thing, CJ, about the disappointment. I'm not disappointed in the team because they've had a good season, but I thought this might be the year that North Laurel makes that step and beats the Pulaski or Southwestern and get that home playoff game. This is a talented team, but they're still young, a bunch of sophomores. Next year, I think they make that move and finally get that win against one of those 2 teams.
Yeah. Well, I told Coach Larkey when he was on here earlier, I said, I think this is your year. He said, I think we can, but if we don't, I'm not going to be upset about it. We're preparing for the future. And I said, well, I know you are. I said, I just watch you play and coach. I know you're preparing for way down the road because, these kids, when they were in 8th grade, state champions in the middle school. So I know they can play football, and I know they got a good caliber of good players there. But I agree with you. I think North World will. When William just told me we're going back to the old format start next year. So a good chance that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that because I'm tickled to death. I hate RPI. I do. I told you that 100 times. I dislike the RPI. Right. But I'll be so glad we're going back to. So this will be the last year we'll have to worry about playing each other in our same district twice within 2 weeks. Because, whoever wins the Southwestern Pulaski game, they're going to turn around and play North Laurel on their home field in 2 weeks.
Right. So. And that's right. And, I will be glad to see that change. I know a lot of coaches are glad to see that change starting next year, for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
Probably doing a jig out in the parking lot. Probably out there just dancing. Yeah. Oh, all over the place.
I've been trying to real quick. I've been trying to avoid the Braves Dodgers game because I'm a huge Braves fan.
And back there on the screen,
he's background there, and I'm like, oh Lord, I'm still not avoiding that. I saw the Dodgers, I think, just steal a base. So
It's all tied up, 2-2, my friend.
Yeah, we shocked a little bit of people yesterday. I mean, I think this year for the Braves, I mean, whatever happens. We went as far as I thought we would go with the injuries we've had. So it's icing on the cake. But anyway, back to high school stuff. I'm sorry for rambling.
What? We can talk the Braves for a minute.
William's excited that you was looking at his screen back there because you noticed it was back there, so he was excited. So, William, do you got anything you want to ask Les?
Well, no, I'm a big Freddie Freeman fan on the Braves. There, I like him and Charlie. His son Charlie. I love seeing their posts and stuff on there. But it was tough seeing some of those injuries that they have. But Jock Peterson's been a great pickup for him.
Yes, Freddie's kind of worrying me a little bit. Right before I came on with you guys, I was watching a little bit. We had runners on first and second. Freddie struck out. He's 0 for 7 in this series with 7 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a little concerning, but we'll be okay. Like I said, anything we do this year now, kind of icing on the cake. Of course, I would love to see them win it all, but I think these young teams have to take the steps, and the Braves are taking these steps. And I think next year, with a healthy Acuna and everything, we could, be really good. Real quick before I go, CJ, my Bengals won again, baby. We're 4-2 now. The hard stuff happens.
Impressive win. That was a good win I'm gonna tell you what. That was
could be 5-1.
I believe in the Bengals now. I didn't know much more. They got the Ravens coming up here, not next week, but week after next. If they can play with the Ravens, I think they can get in the playoffs.
Well, right now, I don't know if we can play with the Ravens, but I think we can play with Cleveland. Cleveland lost today. I'm hoping we can play with the Ravens.
Awesome.
I think they're kind of, the Bengals are kind of, like the Braves. I still think they're a couple of linemen away from really being good. But I'm still all in agreement with them of picking up Jamar Chase. I think that was a good pick.
That's a great pick.
And they're heading in the right direction. Just got to keep Burrow healthy and just keep plugging away and have a little faith in the coach. I mean, I know a lot of people knock Zach Taylor, and I see why sometimes, but we're 4-2. We only won 4 games last year. Hey, man, we're doing something right now. So with that said, of course, I've got high school basketball coming up here too, CJ, and it's huge over here in the 13th region this year.
I know. That's why I'm going to bring you back here in about a week or two. I'm going to get your whole segment. I want you to break everything down for us over there. The top girls, top boys, best teams, most underachieving team you'll see. Teams is going to be the most surprising team. And we'll do that here in a couple of weeks because I give you time to get all that put together.
That's fine, man. And thanks for having me on. Just give me a shout there, and I'll come back on. And I appreciate everything. And we'd like to have you as well, you guys on as well on the third. We have 2 shows during the week on the 13th Region Media Network shows. We'd like to get you guys on when you guys have a chance, and we run that Sunday, Wednesday nights. So we'll get things going here after football season and start talking some basketball.
Yep, looking forward to it. Well, we're going to have a strong finish to the football season here as well.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. You be safe and be good, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
See you, Les.
He
talked about he talked about basketball. This is going to be a great senior class this year across the whole state for basketball season. I'm excited. I can't wait for it.
Oh, I can't either. My good friend Nolan Willard, he's a really great friend of mine. Just most knowledgeable man that you ever know. He's wanting you to know, William, that on January 28th, Shelby Valley is going to play Rockcastle County.
Okay.
And I'm guessing at the boys' game. So he was going to let you know that.
That's big time. Rockcastle County is a BGO school, which I'm talking about Bluegrass Orthopedics, and they're one of our sponsors. So that's definitely something that may happen.
Yeah. So he's wanting to let you know that. So thank you, Nolan. Yeah. Nolan always leaves me a comment or two every week, and I love it when he does that. I wish he'd call, but I know he's a busy man. Okay, let me get a few things out of the way, William. I'll let you give me your final thoughts, and we'll get out of here.
I just really appreciate you having me on the show, man.
Well, I won't let you give your final thoughts because I want to hear what you got to say. And I've loved having you. I'm gonna bring you back again because it's been a great show.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank everybody that watched. I want to thank everybody that left comments. I want to thank everybody who tried to call. I know our internet messed up over there, so we'll try to have that working more better next week. Also want to remind everybody, I want to thank Coach Dan Howard, Coach John Hines, Les Dixon, Coach Chris McNamee, and all 5 of my guests showed up and were really great guests. So I want to thank everybody that was on the show. Really want to thank William. I'll let him give his final comments in just a second. I'll be back with you on Wednesday night with the CJ High School Football Report. We'll have week number 9 of the rankings, RPIs, and more. Do not know what time because Wednesday nights is one of those nights it's up in the air to what time I start. I've been doing it at 9, but we'll see. But I'll be back with you on Wednesday night. I'll be back with you on Sunday night for episode number 12 of the CJ Howard Show. Joel Bashir is going to be my co-host. Joel is does a lot of stuff in Leslie County. He works at the Hines Citizens Bank. He's also in charge of a lot of things in Leslie County. So he's going to come on. He's going to do some stuff with me. We'll have some great guests. We'll start putting our basketball coaches on here probably either this week or next week or the last week of the regular season. So that's next Sunday night, 8 o'clock, the CJ Howard Show, episode number 12. Also, I want to remind everybody, please go to my YouTube channel, the CJ Howard channel, and go over and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. I think the last time I looked over, I had 10. So I need 990 more subscribers. If I can get that done, I'll do some more live stuff over there. Also, might have an opportunity to make a little money by selling some merchandise, like T-shirts and cups and stuff like that. So try to help me out there if you can. William, go ahead and give me your final comments, and then we'll get out of here.
Well, I think YMT's got it figured out. I think that Hazard Pikeville game is going to be the game of games this coming week. I agree Pulaski and Southwestern is going to be a big rivalry game, but I think we know who's going to come out of that one in the end. But that Hazard Pikeville game, so much on the line, it just seems like to me. And I think that YMT had that picked out perfect.
Yeah, that was a good change on their part.
I really like Hazard, and obviously, Pikeville's got a great coaching staff over there as well, and they've got tradition on their side. So yeah, man, I think that's the game of games. If you were to ask me this week when you talk about the games that we talked about tonight and circled one, that's where I would be at.
Yep.
But yeah, I really appreciate you having me on the show tonight. It's always good to be able to be put on a platform to a different audience. Here in Central Kentucky, prep spin's well known, but we want to do more things down in the mountains, and we hope to do so. Hopefully starting in basketball season. We got this new production trailer now that we tow, that we call it the Whitaker Bank Mobile Broadcast Studio. Got this big TV behind me and a podcast table, but on the other side, what you don't see on camera is a big video switching system over here, bunch of racks with a bunch of HD equipment in it. And, we could do the things that the big TV networks can do that we never thought that we would be able to do. We always dreamed about it, but now we're able to do so. So you might see us down there at a game sometime soon.
Well, we'll be watching for you, William, and try to bring you back during the basketball season. We'll get you back on here, and we'll do this again. William, when we get off the air, do not leave me. I want to say a couple things off the air when we're done. So,
yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Again, I want to remind everybody, please join me on Wednesday night for the CJ High School Football Report, and I'll be back with you Sunday night for the CJ Howard Show, episode number 12. This is CJ Howard, rounding third and heading for home. Good night, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you next week.